Start here. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to session 2 of today's session, and this week's research week. Starting off, we have Mr. Mohamad Ariff, Majmi Zaaba, who will be talking to us about research grants. And then we will have TS Dr. Juliana Jaafar and TS Dr. Abdul Hadi Mohamad, who will be presenting on collaboration activities with industry as well as other universities. Before I invite Mr. Ariff, allow me to give an introduction about our speaker this afternoon. Mr. Mohamad Ariff Majmi is the Deputy Dean for International, Industrial and Institutional Partnership and a lecturer in Technoputra section, which focuses on entrepreneurship development and technology section at University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian Institute of Information Technology. Graduated from Cardiff University, UK in MSc in Accounting and Finance, and Coventry University, UK in BA Honours Business Information Technology with Accounting. Mr. Ariff is currently pursuing his PhD in Information Technology at University Kuala Lumpur. Mr. Ariff has published a number of books and journals and secured many industrial grants and commercial projects in information technology and creative industry sector. He's also a certified business coach from various government agencies. It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Mohamad Ariff Majmi to give his talk titled Feasibility Study of the Transformation from Physical Certificate of the Malaysian Skills Certification System to Electronic Certificate. Please welcome. Over to you, Mr. Ariff.
Hello, hi. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
All right. So thank you, Aruna, for the welcoming speech. So hi, good evening to all the participants in this session. So today is more like a sharing session on the research that currently UniKL MIIT receive in 2021, and we will be finishing this study somewhere in October. All right. So this study is actually came from JPK. JPK is stand for Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran, and organized by the SIAS. So I think most of the lecturers here are familiar with SIAS because we do this assessment, right? The assessment through the portal. So I think most of the lecturer here done that. So but JPK um, is agent is something like Mara to us lah. So CS is something like UniKL, and JPK is equal to Mara. But JPK is under the Ministry of Human Resource, where Mara is from KPLB, Kementerian Pembangunan Luar Bandar. Right. So JPK, Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran, previously known as the MLVK, if you heard, is the known as the National Vocational Training Council. It's a department under the Ministry of Human Resource, established in 1971. So the name MLVK changed to JPK after the National Skill Development Act 2006. All right, from September 2006. So JPK is responsible for promoting and coordinating skill training strategies and program in line with effort to strengthen the country's skill field, okay, or TVET. So certificate issued by JPK is such as the Malaysian Skill Certificate, SKM Malaysian Skill Diploma, DKM Malaysian Advanced Skill Diploma, and it's a valuable government security document because the certificate that the student receive when they complete the study is similar to the one is identical to the one with SPM. It's identical with the SPM's cert, right? So JPK have this Jata Negara also, the logo at their certificate. So it is one of the qualification listed in the MQF and recognized in the public and private sector, right? So the number of certificate issued by the JPK from January until April 2022 is almost 29,000 for SKM, DKM, and DKM. And also for the statement of achievement is around 3,000. And from 1994 to 2022, there are about 2,000 certificate issued by them. So this is the problem statement of the study. Okay, so the first problem statement is the process of issuing the certificate take long time, right? From 3 months after the verification of the external certification officer, right? And then the number two, the certificate acceptance process will take 2 to 6 months by the certified center, or we call it accredited center, pusat bertauliah. And then the total cost for direct and indirect of uh, production of the certificate is about 1.3 million per year for 160,000 certificate, right? So the cost of the printing of the cert, and then the unclaimed physical certificate at the accreditation center is high, all right? And there are some issue on that, because there are some students are not claim their cert, right? So then the negative impact of using the physical cert, such as um, paper, toner, is might harmful lah for the environment, right? And then the error in printing the certificate due to human negligence, okay? And then uh, the certificate is a valuable government document, so it's a serious threat to the credibility and reputation of JPK if there are forgery or or the misuse of the cert. So the research objective. All right. So on the research objective, first we want to look at the security features, mechanism and stability of the electronic certification practice in agencies and other certification bodies in Malaysia and also in overseas, and the ability, the durability, and the relevance of the implementation of the electronic cert in Malaysia, the level of acceptance of the stakeholder, and then a report that for a feasibility study to the JPK, and also a model for JPK to use if they want to adopt this transformation. So this is the research scope. So our research location is based on Malaysia. Then the research population, um, domestic, foreign certification bodies and stakeholders. And we limit this research on research design, which is a mixed method, uh, quantitative and qualitative approach, and data sources, combining with primary data sources and also secondary data. And uh, this is the data collection lah. So for the data analysis, we use for quantitative we use statistical analysis, and for qualitative we use the thematic analysis. So we go to the literatures. Okay, so JPK is one of the agency responsible on promoting and coordinating skills training program in line with the effort of strengthening the national skill field and TVET. So TVET was introduced to meet the industry demand and contribute to the economic growth based on the knowledge, technological advancement, and global workforce mobility. So TVET basically, similar to us, provide the skill human capital needs by the industry, right? So the forgery of the certificate, there are uh, uh, act on related to the forgery of this certificate is under 463 and also 465. And then we look at the statement there by the Star in 2009. One of over 20 potential hires in Malaysia has fake qualification. All right. And there are more on the newspaper cutting here. You can see that uh, the fake degrees and also SPM uh, available at very affordable cost, such as low as 500 ringgit, right? And then this is also a website from the internet, Phony Diploma. So you can see that they are selling this um, fake diploma degree from Malaysian, including the transcript at at 200 USD to 300 USD each, right? So if you can see here from the customer review, uh, they actually they also request for University Kuala Lumpur uh, cert. So I'm not sure it's a good indication of or what, but you can see that they have quite a number of database of the uh, cert available in this website. So the potential buyer can request lah actually which university they want, and what is the result looks like in others, all right? Uh, Electronic certificate, all right? So electronic certificate um, is in line with the National 4IR policy, where in the digitalization ecosystem. So among the solution taken to overcome the issues of the forgery of the certificate is the existence of the electronic certificate system. So in 2019, in Singapore, graduate of local school, including high school, juniors, college, Institute of Higher Learning, receive electronic certificate for the qualification that have they obtained. And in 2022, the UIA or IIUM launched this e-scroll application using blockchain technology. All right, and that will be used by their graduates. Okay, so electronic certificate can provide benefits such as reduced cost, certificate preparation time, and any cost related to the printing of physical certificates, right? So plus the impact to the government, to the environment also uh, is huge, right? You can see that the use of one tree is equal to 16 rim of paper, right? So in the US, they use about 12 trillion sheet of paper per year, so it's equal to 1.5 billion trees, right? And then the users of electronic certificate also can reduce the use of toner and print ink, right? So this is the some of the usage of the electronic certificate by the education institution in some of the country. So in Malaysia, we are ratified three actually university. Number one is UNIZA, number two is UTA, and then number three is UIA, right? So they have their own system, and for Malaysian university, they are using blockchain technology. Okay, and then for United Kingdom, there are few developer of or medium for electronic certificate. One is through the university portal, and then another one is via Grad Intelligence. So if you can see by the Grad Intelligence, they have more features such as for student, employer, for internships, and also for the universities. All right, so this is electronic cert at Utah. Okay, this is the some of the snippet of electronic cert at the UIA. Okay, so this is from the UK universities, and this is the Grad Intelligence. So Grad Intelligence used by various universities in UK. And for in the Australia and New Zealand, they use MyEqual, okay, to get access to their e-certificate. They are using this cryptography hardware to produce this e-cert, right? And for Singapore, they only use one medium for e-certificate. They call it open cert. Okay, so this open cert is based on blockchain technology, and then it can be used by the student, the employers, universities, and also the companies. Okay, so we can see that this open set is been used for since schools until universities. All right, this is some of the snapshot set. Right, so we go to blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is widely used in the key industries such as banking, health, education, and housing. So, for example, we know that blockchain is famous with the cryptocurrency and also supply chain management and vaccine validation. Okay, so blockchain technology is the choice of most higher education institution in Malaysia and Singapore because of the technology ability to minimize the risk of fraud, forgery, and unauthorized access. So in Malaysia, the empowerment of the blockchain technology has shown as a healthy and competitive development since 2015. All right, and recently, uh, this project Lesin, and Sijil Asli by Jabatan Laut is yet to launch, still under development since early 2022. Okay, and in Mampu also they are currently building this blockchain private Ethereum network. Okay, to be used by the government agency, and then the blockchain hub is in Iskandar Putri Johor, and Malacca ecosystem or the halal tracking system, MyEG, Magic, and many more. So these are new, also some news paper cutting on the blockchain technology in Malaysia. All right, it's not something new, but yet the use of this technology is still um, not so many lah, right? So on the research methodology, first phase we look at the preliminary studies, okay, on the technological and also on the literature, and then we collecting the primary data using mixed mode. So data qualitative using the interviews, and we use quantitative on the questionnaire, and then phase 3 perform these two types of data analysis, right, and phase 4 generate and discuss finding from the data analysis report, and phase 5 release the final research result, including the suggestion as also the conclusion. So based on the uh, interview, so this is the objective of the interview: to gather information, um, to know the process, advantage and disadvantages of this physical cert and electronic cert, and we look at the operational point of view by the JBK, the cost, the duration of the operation process, users, stakeholders, matter related to the technical part and technology use, advantage and disadvantage in terms of the technology use and others, right? So this is the interview respondent that we have done. We have like 12 respondent. Um, all came from some of IPTA government bodies, and also the accreditation center. All right. So this is some of the pictures. All right. Qualitative research interviews. Three categories of interview analysis result that will form. We have three main findings. Okay, based on the interview. First, on physical certificate implementation challenges, we found that the institute to receive the physical cert around 2 to 6 months, certificate not claimed by the student. Okay, some student they didn't claim the cert, and then this lead to the issue of the storage by the institute. Okay, and then penalties for error means that if there are errors in terms of like name or IC numbers, so they need to reprint and request again the cert with additional cost. And then physical cert reprinting process is around 3 to 6 months. And then electronic certificate implementation challenges. Some said that is unnecessary. They prefer physical cert more compared to the electronic cert. And then some courses like multimedia, photography, carpentry, they are focused more on portfolio compared to the electronic, compared to the cert. So maybe this is kind of like a student that did not claim their cert. And then one of the feedback we received, this electronic certificate did not have no sentimental value, right? No, or didn't have this sentimental value, right? And then we look also on the recommendation for improving the certification system. So most of the respondents welcome the proposal to transform from physical cert to electronic cert, because they say that this will accelerate the waiting time, save the storage space, training center, and then reduce the cost of preprint in event of error, encourage more flexible procedure. And then the initial finding of the interview shows that the appropriate technology to be adapted to realize the implementation of the electronic cert is number one, we can use blockchain technology for authenticity, validation, record changes, and iteration, and also PKI, public key uh, index. So this is more on authenticity and also security, and PKI are more mature, right? And QR code, okay, for verification, and also digital signature for authentication. All right. So this is some of the technology lah, that can be used. So electronic cert to the student. One of the feedback also we received that electronic cert uh, to be the main to be given to the student, and physical cert on request basis for secondary option lah. And then the temporary electronic cert uh, is also recommended lah to the student while waiting for the valid physical cert. And then the reviewing of the current SOP, policy, procedure for approval, and also certification of validation process. Uh, for quantitative research questionnaire, we are using this technology reduced model, TRM. Right, so the dimension in TRM is optimism, innovativeness, discomfort, and also insecurity. Okay, we are looking into this 4 theme in this questionnaire. Right, so our respondent came from the current student under JPK, under the SPKM, Sistem Persijilan Kemahiran Malaysia, graduate student, accredited centers, and also the employers. Okay, so this is the question. So we have each team have 10, 7, 10, and 9 questions each. So this is the demographic summary of the respondents. So we have 809 total respondent who answer this questionnaire. So most of the uh, respondent is came from current student, 42%, and second one is for the graduate student, 35%, sorry. And then the age most of the respondent is from 18 to 30. Okay, and for the gender, it's almost equal, 46% for male and female 54%. And for the tahap celik komputer lah, uh, we see that only 3% considered weak. Okay, and for 64% is good, right? And same goes to the tahap celik internet. Okay, internet literacy, only 1% on weak, and 60%, the majority is on good, right? So for descriptive statistic, so based on the mean value, okay, so this is based on the team. See that most of the answer is agree with the transformation of the certificate. Uh, we can see that from graduate, accredited center, and also employer agree, except for the current student. So the current student, they recorded 2.3 and also 2.2 for optimism and also innovation. Means that all the graduate, accredited student center, and also employer agree on this idea to transform from physical cert to electronic cert, but not the current student. Uh, yeah, so that is the one of the finding we have, and they found that they are feel discomfort and insecurity on the technology uh, that been promoted lah, the electronic cert technology. Okay, but for others, graduates and accredited center as employer, that's all okay on the result. On the correlation matrix, so there is a high correlation between level of internet literacy and also the computer literacy, and the optimism perception has a weak correlation with the level of internet literacy and also the computer literacy. And so for the insecurity perception has no correlation with the level of internet literacy and also the computer literacy, right? So we go on to the discussion. So this is the advantages of the electronic certificate. So number one is on the management side. So on the management side, they no need for a file storage cabinet when they adopt this electronic certificate. Doesn't use ink, doesn't use paper, printer, no shipping costs for the certificate, no cost to maintain the printer, does not require a safe file, easy to carry, and carry for mobilization, right? And for security part, electronic cert is not easy to copy, easily not easily to destroy, not easily to damage, not easily lost, easy to share, easy to verify the authenticity. And then for the innovation part, the supporting effort towards the digitalization era and supporting towards this direction of national innovation and technology towards this also IR 4.0, and also support this green technology. So the technology, based on the research, most of the country, such as in UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Morocco, use centralized database technology, cryptography, and cloud storage in the electronic certification system. So the main purpose of implementing this electronic certification system for the above country is the most appropriate method to be used during the COVID-19 pandemic situation. All right, some of the country develop such system just for to cater this pandemic. All right, speeding up the time for graduate to receive a certificate after completing their studies, making it easier for graduates to find work, to access the certificate, right, and to speeding up the process of issuance on authenticating and correcting certificates. And only in Malaysia and Singapore are using blockchain technology in the electronic certification system. So the main purpose of implementing this electronic certificate using blockchain technology is to increase the level of security against threats such as forgery, data manipulation, access from irresponsible parties, damage and loss. So it increase user confidence in the security and authenticity of certificates, improve the efficiencies of certificate management, issuance, verification, and correction of certificate, increase the ease of mobilization and access to the certificate, and also save time. So this is the use of the technology in electronic cert. So in Malaysia, most are using for authenticity verification, fraud and forgery, and also uniformity and change of information. And you can see that Singapore is used for intrusion and also hacking, right? So this is the 5 factors, important factors of the certificate management. Number one is time, right? The time, and number 2 is the procedure that leads to the saving time, cost, increasing to the efficiencies and others. Cost, all right. So storage method, okay, because storage is one of the issues, because when the certificate is not been collected more than 5 to 7 years, is related to the ISO issue by the institute. Security features, all right. So this is the IR 4.0 at JPK. This is what I currently have done on IoT. So on IoT is the technology allows various gadget and electronic products to interact with information through the internet and digital medium. All right. So in JPK, they are using um, MySpike. MySpike is a system, web browser, to validate their current physical cert based on ICs and others. And they also have this app spike for smartphone use. And then for physical cyber infrastructure, uh, server usage in for MySpike and AppSpike is already there. They already launched this app, right? And also Mampu is also supporting this physical cyber infrastructure. And for mobile application, this two mobile application, MySpike and AppSpike, is ready to use now, right? And then the SWOT blockchains for JPK. This one is um, based on the finding that we found. So the strength of blockchain technology for JPK is number one, data transparency, efficiency, security and privacy, and also number 4, financial saving based on the infrastructure and also the third parties fees, if any, right? Um, and the weaknesses uh, is a time-consuming data transaction, the blockchain itself, and a high source of electricity, because we know that this technology use um, uh, network of computer that running 24 hours, so you use high electricity. And then this but for the opportunities, it can improve the current authentication process. It can improve also the data transaction speed based on our research. Currently the developer of this um, server Ethereum network or some, they are improving the speed of the transaction. And number 3, the empowerment of the blockchain technology in Malaysia, which has been done by the government agencies and many other more. And number 4, we look at this uh, opportunity for JPK to be a centralized body providing TVET electronic certificate management services in Malaysia. So since UniKL also one of the institute, so maybe if this system is ready and adopted by JPK, UniKL can also join this initiative to get this electronic certificate lah. And then the threats for JPK is number one, integration with the legacy system, which is the MIIT to integrate with the blockchain technology, provision of the digital and internet infrastructure by the government, because when we want to use this uh, electronic certificate, so the readiness of the user must be there already. So we have this initiative by the government called Jendela. So the Jendela will finish around 2025. So in 2035, uh, they expect that most of the people in Malaysia have internet access through their phone, right? So this is also include people in the rural areas. All right. So number three, investment in the latest technology uh, will involve uh, finance, cost, human resource, time, and also awareness. So this is what JPK want to look. All right. So based on this, the summary of this discussion, the result of both qualitative and quantitative studies are in line with and support the result of the literature studies and technology studies. So this is regarding the advantages of the electronic cert over the advantage of physical certificate, especially in the aspect of certificate management and certificate security issue, right? So the result of the discussion show that the group age of 31 to 50 years old, which consists of the group of from accredited center employers, JPK, welcome the idea of this transformation, agreed, and believe in the electronic certification system because they see that the advantage of this electronic certificate in terms of the certificate management, right? And for the conclusion, so uh, this is the final slide. So based on the conclusion, we as the researcher, we recommend this technology to be used, blockchain technology, and we also recommend that JPK um, will move from the current physical certificate to electronic certificate, but not immediately. Okay, we do the plan in the our report. All right, so we call it as in phases. It's a 5 years phases. All right, so in the 5 years phases, uh, why we do it 5 years? Because based on the outcome from the our study also lah, as you can see that the current student are not comfortable and doesn't see that the use of the electronic cert will benefit them or win or the JPK or the jabatan need to do more awareness to them, especially for them. All right. So this uh, blockchain technology characteristic trust such as transparency, efficiency, further increasing the level of corporate governance of the institute, capable of making daily human activities easier, faster, supporting data transparency. So the potential of using the blockchain system in the certification system has not yet been explored much, and it can be highlighted at the national and international level. So the use of blockchain technology also can reduce the financial cost based on our studies with the use of the existing infrastructure uh, provided by the PDSA, and the cost of building the blockchain is more economical for JPK. Okay, so the implementation of the uh, electronic certification also uh, is potential to make the JPK to be a centralized body in the provision of the TVET electronic certificate management and verification services in Malaysia. All right, so that is all my presentation today on the study that we have done between UniKL and also JPK on electronic cert. So if you have any question on this research, it's us. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Good evening, Ariff.
Salam.
Hadi here.
Hi,
Sorry.
Hadi.
Okay. So when you say electronic certificate, does this link to micro credential, and what's the take of this research towards micro credential in the long run?
Okay, so based on this research is basically only the transformation of the current physical cert under JPK to electronic cert. So yes, I think JPK is currently use this micro credential in their ecosystem due to they have many levels of certificate like SKM, CJ Kembang Malaysia. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they can gabung and do as like a micro credential. But if they have this centralized database system, okay, maybe JPK will adopt this, and then other TVET institution join in the database. I think it can be micro credential opportunity lah for the student to other university as well. That my thought lah, Dr. Hadi.
Okay, thank you very much, Ariff. Okay, so I like the idea of the coordination.
Hmm.
But the thing is, as much as we have to combat these fake certification kind of things that is quite critical within the industry of education and training. Um, if just merely a suggestion, we can also go for decentralized approach, whereby the
Yeah.
coordination comes from JPK, the verification comes, the high level verifications come from JPK, whereby the training provider, TVET institution, they will have their own access towards the system, and they can contribute a certain level of data that is allowed for
Hmm.
their institution.
Hmm.
Having a centralized system it's okay. It's something that we can do, but because the amount of data can be huge after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
So having a more centralized is actually become even more difficult in the future.
Hmm.
I have a research with my undergraduate students talking about how to combat fake degree by having a full, we don't say full verification, but rather we we allow the certificate owner. Let's say if I have a certificate from UniKL from my bachelor's degree, I will allow a certain people to access. Let's say if the one people who wants to access is my potential employer, they will have like maybe 7 hours, 24 hours, 7 days access, and then I will close it. That's how the so-called the self-verification, without having to ask JPK to verify or ask UniKL to verify. It takes time in the admin process. So if that makes sense, I think we can there will be more potential collaboration in the future, and we can at any time we can collaborate together. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Dr. Abdul Hadi. Uh, s- Based on our research also, Singapore has done this. They already have this centralized bodies governs all the certificate, education certificate in Singapore from school until university. So if I think JPK, since they already have this initiative for the idea of transformation of the current physical to the electronic cert, why not this idea JPK take lead of this initiative, since JPK is also under the Kementerian government initiative, and this initiative also has been supported and also recognized by Mampu. to provide the blockchain network there. Already, I think the initiative already start in 2022. All right, so yeah, I think Malaysia is already going towards blockchain technology, and I think the roles of other agency also we need to look back lah, all right, which can support this blockchain technology for verification, authentication. It should be done, all right. So that's my suggestion also. Thank you, Dr. Hadi. You have any other question? I would like to say thank you also for some of the members from Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran, right? So from also SIAS, we have Dr. Saidi here, and Azlini, Cik Shahrizan, and other more, I think, Cik Zudi, right? So thank you very much for attending this session. Basically, this is more on a sharing session, because the researcher in UniKL. So some of the info we yet to present here lah, all right. But basically, this is the objective and also the problem statement that we receive from JPK on the electronic cert, and I hope that this project will be materialized in JPK, and it would actually benefit all the other TVET institution in the government agencies, right? So, any other question? If don't, maybe I can pass back this session to our moderator, Miss Aruna.
Thank you, Mr. Ariff, for taking
Thank
time
you.
and sharing with us this afternoon. Thank you as well for taking all the questions, Ariff. Okay, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have Dr. Juliana Jaafar, who will be sharing with us on collaboration efforts with the industry and other universities. Before I invite her, let me say a few words about Dr. Juliana. She is currently the coordinator of Business Center UniKL MIIT and also a senior lecturer in software engineering in UniKL MIIT. Dr. Juliana has a PhD in computing from the University of Leeds, UK, Masters of Science in Advanced Computer Science and IT Management, University of Manchester. She also has 8 years of industrial experience in software development, comprising of project management, software development lifecycle, and Java. She also has a bachelor's in computer science with minor in mathematics from University of North Carolina, USA, right? Today, Dr. Juliana will be focusing on project collaborators, tips on initiating collaboration and challenges that we will face in collaboration. Let us now invite Dr. Juliana to present her talk to us. Please welcome Dr. Juliana. Over to you.
Hi, Aruna. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Today it will be like a sharing session. Okay, my experience working with industry and also the other university, some projects that I have been working with the industry as well as the other university. Okay, I think I have got some experience because of I'm currently attached with business center, which allow me to get the opportunity to have more engagement with the industry, which lead to many projects, okay, which also leads to the research project as well. So in doing the collaboration, I think there are a lot of things that we can do with, or there are a lot of outcome, okay, from this collaboration, okay, from the industry as well as from the university. So these are some areas that we can venture into when we do some collaboration with the either universities or industries. So we can do consultation, the advisory session maybe, okay, vendor. We become a vendor. Means that we this more on the commercialization, where we develop something. Okay, for example, we develop a website. Okay, to a company, to an industry, even to a project. Okay, to a research project. Okay, so we can become a vendor, those who produce the product. Okay, we can become a research partner. We can join as a in a publication. We can join as a training in a training, for example. We can do supervision. We can do co-program. Okay, for example, this may be at higher level, at the university level perhaps, or maybe at campus level, where we can work together with other university to produce one degree program or one master program. Okay, and we can do co-organizer or partnerships. Okay, so this is more at higher level, at the university and campus level. I think for us as individual, as a researcher in UniKL MIIT, I think we can start with the consultation. We can start with the research partner. We can start with the training, providing training with the universities, for example, or to other industries. Okay, so this kind of collaboration that we can do with the industry as well as with the university, other university. Okay, let me share. Okay, some of the projects. Okay, some of the research collaboration that I have involved. Okay, while I'm in the business center. Okay, one of it is Nahrim. Okay, Nahrim is an institute pengairan dan institut pengairan. Okay, the project was is about smart river rating and ranking in Malaysia. Okay, we got a grant. Okay, for this project. Okay, for this project, the benefit that we got is we can we be able to participate in many of the competition. For example, the SIIF in 2021, ITEX 2021. We also managed to come up with another research out of this research, okay, for which we have applied for PRGS 2021 and PRGS 2022. Okay, of course we are not, we haven't yet get any secured grant after this grant, okay, but we are trying to extend this grant, to extend this research grant, so that because there are a lot of other opportunity, okay, under this project. Okay, we also tried on the French matching grant, okay, but it was not successful. Based on this project as well, we have one PhD student, and also perhaps no, I think we have two PhD students. I think that based on this project, okay, and one master students for when we extend this project, okay. Okay, another project that I have involved is on the Collaborative Research Grant, UTM 2019. Okay, it is a collaborative research grant on the development of Internet Ethical Attitude Scale and a prediction of Internet Ethical Attitude for university students in Malaysia. Okay, the total program is 160K, for which each project there in one program they have for this particular project they have one program that manage 4 projects. Okay, so one project is under UTM, I mean lead by the UTM, one project lead by UNI10, and one project lead by UTM, and one project lead by UniKL. So I was the lead for the project 4, which is the UniKL. Okay, so we got 40K. Even though we got 40K, but we still share among the program. Okay, so we have some opportunity, okay, to get more budget from other program, from other project. They have not used their budget. Okay, so this project will be completed by October 2022. Okay, we had done publication on this project. Okay, I have also been invited to as a speaker on long document for research writing. So there are a lot of opportunity when you do the collaboration with the with other university. Okay, you get to know how they do their research. You get to know how the process of getting the budget, okay, of getting the or how they use the money, okay, for the project. Okay, so this also lead to other collaborations because we have planned many other collaboration in the near future. So there are after this project ends by October, by end of October, by end of this October. So we hope that uh, we get to know each other in the team, especially the UTM team. We get to know some other teams from UNITEM and also from UNITEN and UTEM, okay, for which we can further research on this. Based on this research, we can extend other research and other publications for the project. This is industrial project, okay, for which this project, okay, is still in the process of getting the MOA. Okay, we have done, or we have gone through several discussion with Global Health Tech. Okay, Global Health Tech is a group that offers halal trade ecosystem. Okay, they provide training. Okay, they provide training under Health City. Okay, which they give training and coaching on how to verify on halal items, on or to produce halal product. Okay, then they also cover on the testing part, which they have Harvard laboratories. Okay, for which that particular lab is one of the panel, okay, for JAKIM to test on the halal. Okay, so they validate on halal and halalan toyiban product, okay, or foods. Okay, and they also cover on providing tools for trading, halal trading. Okay, that will be parked under the e-commerce. Okay, so one of the things that we are going to collaborate is for us to provide consultation, to provide resources, okay, to help them in developing an integrated halal management system, or we call it IHMS, and halal e-commerce platform. Okay, there are several discussion, there are several potential research, there are several potential FYP projects that we can come out from this collaboration. Even now, we already started with 2 FYP projects, okay, for which the students have developed some part of the integrated halal management system. Okay. We also have collaborations. This even though it is a collaboration with the university, however, we park it under commercialization, or we because we gain money from this. Okay, we got something out of it in terms of monetary. Okay, and this is the project that we work with UKM and also UITM. For the UKM is on they got a project, okay, the research project on the effectiveness of interactive virtual clerkship to enhance pharmacy students' knowledge and skills during preclinical attachment in the hospital, a case study. So our role is they have hired us as a consultant and also a vendor to develop the virtual clerkship. Okay, and for the UITM, okay, they also got a PRGS grant, okay, which they have hired us to develop the meal planner and virtual health apps. There are 2 different PRGS grant, okay, under this project. Okay, so we have become the consultant, and we become the vendor who develop the system. Okay, so we have also involved some interns, okay, to in the first phase of the development or understanding the requirements of the system. Okay, so there are lots of opportunity for us to bring in our students into the collaborations project with industry as well as with the universities. Okay. All right, these are some other projects that I have involved. For example, Prasarana, for which they have asked us to develop a system, okay, a bucket project, where a bucket system for which we develop a system for their club, okay, for their club in Prasarana Group. Okay, and this was developed, this was part under the FYP project. Okay, and also I have brought this case study into my class, into my subject. Okay, under software quality and also under software design and integration. Okay, so I have used the same case study for the lab exercises. Okay, to ensure and to guide student on how to develop a real system. Okay, the real requirements from the customer. Okay, so that they can have the opportunity to feel on the real project, okay, in the class itself. Okay, so we have another project under Fishery Research Institute Malaysia. There is no real formal collaboration, but from the engagement that we went to the frame, okay, we got to generate some solutions, some ideas, okay, to help the businesses in the Fishery Research Institute. So we have developed, we have come up with a system, okay, to help on the inventory and work maintenance management, okay, for the Fishery Research Institute. They have like a small museum in the institute, so they have no system to manage on all the aquariums, the maintenance of the aquariums, and the list of the 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 fishes, okay, in the aquarium. So it takes time for them, okay, because they wanted to upgrade their businesses. They wanted to update their operations. However, sometimes, okay, I think most of I think the fund is the constraint, okay, for which they can't, as they are a research institute, okay, not many funds have been allocated to enhance their aquatic museum, okay, in the institute. So that we have come up with a system to help them, okay, in their aquatic in the institute. Okay, we have Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Kemaman, which I think it's where Pejabat Daerah Kemaman, they have built the module for bully. Okay, this module they have developed the content of the module on how to manage bully at school. Okay, so and they have requested UniKL MIIT to develop the website, to develop the poster for the module, to promote on the module to all the schools in Kemaman. I think later they will promote to all other Malaysia. And they have launched the website, I guess, early July. Okay, but I was involved only for part on the consultation on the website development. Okay, it was developed by a students from multimedia. Okay, and they have asked for other applications, okay, mobile application, to help on managing if cases of bully, on how student can report on bully cases at schools. Okay, so all these requirements we can work together, and we plan to come up with a project for FYP project, I think next semester, okay, to develop this mobile application for this bully module for them. Okay, and we also have worked with HKL. This one is on the document management, more on the developing a systematic archiving process of important relevant inpatient document. Okay, all right, okay, and this again, they don't have any budget, any fund. Okay, so we have worked together with SKL to secure some of the funds, even from the medical field. We have tried an MMR, which is the National Medical Research Grant, but I think we haven't got any grant on this. Okay, so yeah, that's the challenge on these collaborations. We have done MIIT, developing a website for MIIT. There are several other collaboration with MIIT as well. Currently, I think TS Hanif is currently working with MIIT to produce the promotion, okay, promotion video, okay, for MIIT. Okay, so those and also KPLB, there are a lot of other projects under working UniKL MIIT working with KPLB, okay, especially on the montage, on the video development, okay, promotions and what's not. Okay, so those are some of the project collaboration that we had, okay, and that I have involved indirectly and directly. Okay, so there are a lot of benefits that we can get or gain from these collaboration projects. So how to start this project? How to get those collaborations? Okay, there for me, I think this is based on my experience. So I think there are two ways we can go, either through the passive ways or proactive ways. Okay, the passive ways is those people comes to us. Okay, for example, the Nahrim, they send email to us from to UniKL MIIT, okay, saying that there are opportunity for a project to do this and this. Okay, there MIIT, for example, they came to us, okay, that they wanted to have a website, okay, and also for the CRG project, okay, UTM itself came to UniKL MIIT, okay, to promote on their collaboration grant. Okay, it's like a matching grant. Okay, came to UniKL MIIT, share on this collaborative research grant, and they try to find any collaborator that are willing to join their project. Okay, so this is the passive way. Okay, the outsider come to us. Okay, but proactive way, okay, we can do some engagement, we can get networking from our networking itself, and we can do visit, okay, to the industry. Okay, from the visit, from the engagement, we can know better their problems, their issues, the needs in the industries. Okay, for example, we went to the Fishery Research Institute. We go and visit the institute. We get to know what are the potential collaboration that we can make. Okay, we go to the Global Health Tech, for example. Okay, they share their business objective. They share their business vision. Okay, from there we can see or we can identify any solution that we can help, especially from the UniKL MIIT. Okay, from this we can start with the idea. We can develop the business proposal. We can come up with the proposal for commercialization. For example, we develop something, we develop website, we come up with the promotional video, for example. We come up with the research proposal. We can have work together, okay, with the industry as well as with the university to come up with the research proposal to apply for the research grant. Okay, FYP projects, we can come up with the FYP project. We can use the case study, the issues, the problem in the industry to use in the assignment, for example, in the case study, for example. So there are many areas that we can bring into the UniKL MIIT. Okay, so we know how to start, then there are a long way, okay, for us to start with the collaborations. Okay, first we need to have the idea. Okay, we need to initiate. Okay, we need to share our ideas. We need to see many options that we have. The researcher, the experts that we have in UniKL MIT, how our experts can help the industry, how our resources, the students, the staff help other universities. Okay, there will be a long discussion, okay, to identify how to go about for the collaborations. We need to do feasibility studies, of course. Okay, we need to understand, okay, the constraint between the other party and our party. Okay, how to collaborate. We need to know the process. Okay, we need to know the scope. We need to know the duration. We need to know the constraints. Okay, then if both parties agrees, then we can start develop the business proposal. Okay, then there are a lot of negotiation. Okay, we need to do. Okay, especially if, okay, with the industry. Okay, when you work with with industry, you need to know the limitation of our staff, okay, or our researcher. Okay, we need to know how to tackle, okay, the needs of the industries. Okay, and during the business proposal, you need to really detail up on the scope, cost, and the schedule. Okay, procedures, the methods on how you develop or how do you want to go about the project. Okay, identify team members. Make sure you wisely identify the team members. Make sure that the team members can give commitment. Make sure that the team members can provide the expertise for the project. Okay, expected outcome, what will be the final outcome, of course. And lastly is where you do the official agreement. It's either the appointment letter, the LOI, MOA, or MOU. Okay, but please bear in mind, if you were to work with the MOA or MOU, okay, it will take time. Okay, even for my CRG project, it took about 1 year for us to sign out for the MOA. So once you get the agreement, once it has been signed off, then you are ready to go. Okay, then there is another challenges for that, okay, which is the managing the project. Okay, so before I end, I just would like to share on the challenges on the collaborations. Okay, so one of the major challenge is fund. Okay, when the industry comes to us, okay, for asking us to develop something for them, okay, is because they don't have fund. They don't have much fund. Okay, most of it, okay, or the fund is very minimum. Okay, and if you are working with the industry, we need to find fund to work on the project, to make sure that the project can work. I mean, can operate. Okay, for example, the HKL project, it cannot go further. Okay, we have developed the model, but it cannot go further in developing the system itself because of there is no fund. No fund from the HKL, no fund from the MIIT itself. Okay, so but we are still trying to get the fund. Okay, so so that's the challenge. Okay, that's the challenge. Okay, culture differences. Okay, industry, they are very fast. The objective of is to get the profit. Okay, we are not a profit. Okay, I mean the researcher itself is not a profitable. It's not a. They don't have that profitable thinking. Okay, so more on the way how we work in the industry and how the academic way of working. Okay, and of course we have the staff in UniKL MIT, we have other commitments. Okay, and But once you have once you already committed to a project, so you need to arrange it properly. Okay, you need to arrange it properly. Either get the management to give the consent, okay, to exclude you from the teaching, okay, if there is a need, okay. Some other challenges is the time, of course, and the understanding business needs and expectation. Okay, researcher or the academic, okay, normally they are more focused on developing or come up with something innovative. Okay, something innovative that might not align with the needs of the businesses, okay, with the industry. So these are the things that you need to get aligned, okay, with the industry when you work with the industries. Okay, a lengthy process, the process of agreement, the process of getting the grant, okay, it took a lot of time. It took a lot of processes, okay, approval, okay. So yeah, it takes time. So bear on this lengthy process, okay. The quality of the product, okay, that will be delivered, okay. For example, if let's say you are working or you try to give the opportunity of developing the product to the FIP project, for example. Okay, so there are risks when you assign the project or part of the project to the FYPs, okay, students. Okay, one is the quality of the development, okay, the time that they can produce the work, okay, the time that they can produce the work, the timeline that we have agreed with the customer. Okay, so those are the thing that we need to properly manage. Okay, so one of the thing is you need to properly manage the project. Okay, so you must ensure that you know the your customer, you know your stakeholders who give the fund. Okay, you need to know your teams. Okay, you need to make sure you get the commitments from the teams. Okay, uh, if you are part of the project, try to give your best commitment to the project. Okay, uh, I understand that sometimes projects might not gain something monetary that may lead to the to the that lead to for the team not giving full commitment to the project. Okay, so that we need to manage. Okay, that we need to manage as the those people who lead the project. Okay, so you need to identify your team properly and how and you need to plan on how to go about, okay, if there is any issues during the execution of the project. Okay, yep, I think that's all from me. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the floor? Okay, I have a question for you, Dr. Juliana. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so you have done a lot of projects, external and also with industry. So is there any tips that you want to share with us, or if we want to pursue in this kind of work, in this kind of project? I mean, like in the morning we had Prof. Nozaidi talking about KPT grants, but the ones that you have here is more not related to, I mean, not focused on KPT. So is there any tips for us who wants to pursue in this kind of projects and also grants?
I think the main thing is for you. I think the researcher. I think I was in the first session of today's session with Dr. Zaidi. Okay. As he mentioned. Okay. I think I like to quote what he mentioned. He mentioned that even the research itself. Okay. We need to know the needs in the industry. Okay. So I guess even you are working with the university or I mean or on the research, more on the academic part, I guess we need to know the actual problem, actual issues in the industry, so that we can serve the industry, so that we can provide a research, industrial-based research that can solve the issues in the industry. So I guess I would like uh, to 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 encourage, okay, those in UniKL MIT to go about, do some engagement with the industry to know more about the issues, the problem in the industry. Okay, you can go any of I mean, because we are in the IT. Okay, so there are, of course, the application of IT is everywhere. Any domains will need the IT. Okay, it's either the system, it's either the networking, for example, or we can provide in terms of the IoT applications, the promotional video, for example. Those things needs IT. Okay, things that we can produce from the UniKL MIT, those are the things that we can use, the resources in the UniKL MIT. Don't worry, just go and do engagement with the industry, any domains. There will be an opportunity for you to come out with a research project, for you to come out with a case study, for you to come up with an idea for business proposals. Okay, so I think one thing is for you to get engaged, get I mean, widen your networking with the industry. That, I think that's the most important tips that I can share here, because once you got the engagement, once you get whole with the industry, it's easier for you to expand the idea, expand the solutions, okay, expand the proposals, okay, to become the research, to become make it as a research project, make it as the you can gain money from that, you can create trainings for them. Okay, even we can share this some of the project as a assignment to the students.
Dr. Juliana, there's a question in chat. Okay, since LOI, MOA, MOU procedures might be lengthy, is there any other letter just to secure the industry support or endorsement on the presented idea for future collaboration?
One of it, if let's say, for example, actually LOI is the fastest way, but it won't. But I guess now in UniKL MIT we don't have LOI anymore, right? I think Dr. Ira can clarify this, and I think we can have appointment letter from the industry. That would be the best way.
I think LOI, if we want to do it in campus level, then it's fine. But for UniKL level, it's quite difficult because like what I'm doing now with UITM, because they need to have LOI. It's like something to bond us lah for the project. And for UITM as well, MOA, MOU, MOC is a very lengthy process. Okay, so just like a commitment letter lah, LOI ni.
All right, I think that would be faster, right?
Yeah, that would be faster. So what we the for UITM tu director lah, director UITM Terengganu. So for UniKL maybe the dean.
All right. Okay.
So we haven't reached that stage yet, but we are moving towards that because MOA, MOU, MOC is a very long process lah, as you know.
Yeah, because for the CRG project my CRG project, it was started with the LOI to secure that the UniKL will provide some amount of money for this particular program. So I think if LOI is still available, so we can always start with the LOI or appointment letter, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Juliana. Any other questions from the floor? Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for your informative session. Okay, Aruna is back. She lost her Wi-Fi just now.
It's so funny, right? We are talking about all these IT things, and our basic network connections also is so poor. Yeah, is there any other questions, Dr. Juliana? I would like to add anything else. Dr. Juliana, is there anything else you would like to add?
No. I think let's continue with Dr. Hadi.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Juliana, for sharing with us today, for taking time and even answering the questions that we have. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have Dr. Abdul Hadi Mohamad, who will be also sharing with us on collaboration efforts with the industry and other universities. Dr. Abdul Hadi Mohamad is a senior lecturer at UniKL, who has working experience in the Europe and Middle East. While his research interests are mainly computing, healthcare, and e-commerce, he has authored E-Commerce Beyond Pandemic Coronavirus, which was released in 2020. Currently, he is working on a public health research in tuberculosis transmission pattern during pandemic. He received his PhD in Information Systems and Computing from Brunel University, London in 2017 and secured a visiting professor position at Saudi Electronic University in 2019. As an expert IT consultant, he won multiple innovation awards and has worked on several commercial and research projects. Dr. Abdul Hadi will be focusing on project collaborators and networking, utilizing the collaboration and maintaining collaboration this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we now welcome Dr. Abdul Hadi to share with us. Over to you, Dr. Abdul Hadi.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aruna. Assalamualaikum. Very good evening, everyone. So welcome to this session, the next session on collaboration, topics on collaboration. But before we proceed, let me quickly upload, not upload, but share. I talked to Dr. Munaisha, Dr. Munaisha, saying that I wouldn't have any slides, but I think for the sake of giving more understanding and knowledge sharing on collaboration, I will have like 2 or 3 slides only. Okay. Sekejap. Okay. So this would be the session where we would discuss on assessing collaboration. Either the collaborations are opportunities, or if they are some kind of threats to our organization, and ways on how to utilize it, and at the same time ways to maintaining it. So my name is Abdul Hadi Mohamad. A very good evening, everyone. Once again, I am the senior lecturer of software engineering in Malaysian Institute of Information Technology, and at the same time, I'm holding a kind of management role in Center for Alumni and Career Services, where we discuss a lot with collaborators and partners from different kind of industries, and I would say the amount of meetings is like every day. Okay, so we have different kind of collaborations, different models of collaborations, different levels, and at the same time we have to establish a certain kind of mutual understanding and agreement between these collaborators. Definitely between any kind of organization, when we want to collaborate, we have our own expectation, so we have to manage it. Either we have to lower it down, or either we have to improve it as according to our needs. So whenever we talk about collaborations, the first liner understanding would be we will collaborate, we will work together as partner with other organization or enterprise. Talking about the partnership or collaborations, um, sometimes I would say partners or collaborators, they might think that, as what Dr. Juliana mentioned, the first question would be the fund among the initial questions, not really the first question. Among the initial questions would be the fund, the manpower, and whatnot. In I would say in our style, I was with Dr. Juliana before in business center, so I was doing quite a number of commercial projects. So just now Dr. Juliana was mentioning about Hospital Kuala Lumpur. So HKL alone is equivalent to 7 hospitals in Malaysia. One HKL, one hospital of HKL is equivalent to 7 other hospitals. So maybe Dr. Juliana was mentioning about the process. So when the HKL project was established or was secured, I wasn't there yet, but I came in during the final implementation, final system development, where it after 2 or 1 month after they go live. So at that point of time, I was thinking about research, and I asked the team members, comprises of a few lecturers and a few other medical doctors, whether they have an idea, whether they have an interest to go for research. They were like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe this is something that is useful not only for UniKL as a university, but also for their organization, because doing medical things, they have their own research unit at the same time, and they have the so-called innovation units. They talk about producing innovative products to combat their their daily problems. So at that point of time, I was like, okay, this is one of the things that we have to discuss, or we have to initiate whenever we talk about the collaborators. They, as a university, we have our own target. We talk about fund, we talk about publications, we talk about products, and many more. At their language, they talk about their issues, daily problems, like Hospital Kuala Lumpur. They talk about their patients, they talk about their manpower, workforce, and whatnot. So some of the ideas initially, I would say, is not synced. But as I mentioned, to work with these collaborators, we have to find one mutual agreement, a point that can connect us. So only after a certain period of time we talk about research, not at the initial point. The initial discussion points was about to solve their problem first. After the problems, I would say the main problem was to manage their specimen information, patient specimen information. And after we managed to solve the problem, only then we talk about research and how we can go further. So research is an idea on how to go further. Some collaborators, they don't have much interest on publishing the results, as what as a lecturer, that's among our interest to when we collaborate with partners. I think the most among important thing is, one of them is to show the evidence that we can help them to solve the problem. So maybe 1 or 2 steps backward to start some engagement. We to engage with the clients, with the collaborators, potential collaborators, be it organization, be it private organizations, GLCs, universities, even small companies. We might have to start with engagement and networking. That's how we can understand their problem, and then we can solve many things. We can give some solutions such as system development, or maybe model development, or concept development, etc. I mean, towards the line of along the line of R&D. They might have not they don't have much time to work on the R&D. They just want they just want the problems to be solved as soon as possible, because they are they might be at the losing part, at the disadvantage part, maybe losing some money, maybe losing some patience, losing some whatever the problem they have on their plate. So engagement and networking is, I would say, is a must before we go sit down with them and talk about what we can do and what they expect from us. Even when I currently I'm the Center for Alumni and Career Services. Whenever the collaborators came to us, or whenever we scout for collaborators, we talk about how we can work together at a very high level. We don't talk about niche issues, niche interests, but we have a boundary. Boundary means in the sense of what we want to achieve in the long run. Let's say we want to, because we talk about graduates most of the time, and career services related. So whenever we have discussion, we talk about, we have these graduates, we have this expertise, we have this kind of graduates background, we have, let's say, like 5,000 graduates that will graduate this year. So that is somehow the boundary. It might help us to shape the discussion, the initial discussion. We don't talk about very niche. Let's say we want some fun to work on and seminars, we want to give some awards. We never talk that at the very beginning. Okay, so that's why I put establish the connection first, and then we go for project initialization at the later stage. Okay, from there, whenever we have the collaborators, or we want to utilize the collaboration. So as Dr. Juliana mentioned, she mentioned about the process of establishing all the agreements, documents, LOIs, letter of intents, we used to have this, what we call as NOC, note of collaboration, or memo of collaboration, something like the MOCs, memorandum of collaboration. Some of them some of the documents might not be similar with other organizations, so we also have to go with whatever our partner have. Utilizing the collaboration might go in several tracks. It can be monetary, it can be non-monetary. It can be benefits, short-term benefits or long-term benefits. But having the boundary, like I mentioned before, we have to we must encourage this partnership, this collaboration to involve as many potential stakeholders as we can. Okay, let's say if we work on a certain project that involves with medical or probably career related, not only we have to involve the graduates, but we have to also involve the students, because at the end of the day, the students will become the graduates of the university. So that's how we link together. But this is the detail that we work after that. Okay. Some collaborations, I would say, some collaborations are, I might categorize collaborations into several categories. We go with very fantastic collaborations, or maybe like awesome collaborations or useful collaborations, and the first one is okay collaborations. So the collaborations can be defined, maybe you can put some stars, 1-star collaboration, 2 stars collaboration, 3 stars collaboration, depending on the severity, depending on the benefits for both organization, and depending on the whatever benefits for our stakeholders. So by having these categories, we can, I don't say simply, but we can help to find direction of this collaboration. Some collaborations are purely non-monetary. One example that we work with one organization for, this organization provides a career services related partnership. So it gives like free training for students over the weekend, and also the graduates, the alumni. It was established end of last year, in December, and we managed to secure like 12 slots from January until December. However, until May or April, the company closed for some reason. they told that they did not manage to continue operation in Malaysia. They are actually an international company. They did not manage to continue their operation in Malaysia, and they dissolved. They removed some staff, so they cannot continue with UniKL for that matters. So I was like, that's fine. I believe because the services that are provided to us are purely non-monetary. There's no cost involvement. There's no money that we have to come out from UniKL. There's no money that will be that will be invested by the company. They just make like 12 slots, 12 weeks of free training for our graduates and for our students. So that's a kind of when it was in that kind of non-monetary value, it might the collaboration might suffer in one way. So if it involves monetary, there's money in and money out, then we have to manage it properly. Everyone knows really understand on how to manage the money, whether the money will be used for investment, whether the money will be used to purchase some software, some equipment, and many more. So in my thinking on monetary value, as simple as 1,000 ringgit, let's say, if the company willingly to give like 500 ringgit, 1,000 ringgit, that's fine. Because from the small investment, we can make it more. I would say some collaborations, they intend to get more. They are looking for 500,000 ringgit of investment, where at the same time we have to assess. I completely agree with Dr. Juliana. We have to assess our team members, because ourselves and the team members, we will work together according to our time, according to our availability and whatnot. So those things are pretty much important whenever we want to utilize the collaboration. Okay, on that, utilizing the collaboration, if I can add, some collaborations might start with very general documents, if we can say agreements. Macam tadi, there's one question asking about whether the LOI or whether some documents are not very lengthy in process to get them. So we can start with very email or probably LOI or any kind of like one document to secure collaboration and communication between these two organizations or more. If we work with multiple organizations, then we have to work more documents. But I perceive that documents should not stop us in working together. Some some collaborations, they tend to get document first, where some other collaborations, they tend to work first. So if the areas are not that sensitive, we are not talking about data, we're not talking about our environment or the potential collaborators' environment, I think we can start first. We can start with very general, high-level concept on understanding the problems, and then we come up with very simple solution talking about how this can be solved if we have fun, agreement, and whatnot. So that would be the idea. The next one will be, last but not least, on how to maintain collaboration. I've been working with like some projects, some commercial projects and research projects. I think HKL is one of the wonderful, awesome collaboration. We started with a very small system development. I think the agreement was around. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I cannot tell the actual amount because that was part of our NDA. It was signed in between UniKL and there's an agency under Jabatan Perdana Menteri. They call as Pemandu, and there's another one, HKL themselves. So we start with very small. Only the system only solve one problem because that's their daily problems, daily problem. And then after that, we go with research. And then we continue with the one that mentioned by Dr. Juliana. We were part of the team talking about highlighting the important relevant documents for patients. Whenever, let's say, if you go to emergency department, there's no time for the doctor to analyze all documents, so they pick and choose a certain documents as according to their severity of the disease or whatever accident and whatnot. And then we maintain the collaborations, the relationship, not only collaborations, the relationship quite a period of time. I think like 4-5 years. I still work. I still communicate with the partners. So maintaining collaboration. One of them is we have to maintain the collaboration. If not necessarily we have to go with the projects. Just saying thank you, just saying Selamat Hari Raya, just say whatever wish that we. That's how we maintain the relationship. Sometimes we don't have much idea on what kind of message that we have to relay to these collaborators, but for the sake of maintaining collaboration, maintaining relationship, we have to do it. And at the same time, we have to do knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer is one way to let the collaborators know that we have, based on the existing project, we have the knowledge and we want to transfer more knowledge to them if we have opportunities to do so. And we also can encourage on quality improvement. Let's say we talk about the existing one that we have is with the I work with Yayasan Peneraju now. Some potential collaborations on giving trainings to graduates. So in the earlier discussion, at the end of the discussion we had last week, they already asked on how we can improve the quality next time. We have not started the collaboration yet. We just discussed on a very high level. They are looking on how we can improve the quality of the courses, of the collaboration, of the potential collaboration, on the partnership kind of things. Some organizations are quite advanced, and we have to at least at par with them. So that's the kind of overview of what I think necessary in terms of maintaining collaboration. So the one that you can, this is one of the approach. If you want to, if you feel that you have so many partners that you want to engage later on, you can use this design thinking approach or model on how to first understand the issues of the partners. Or we might have some, let's say, you have a research fund or you have some fund. Let's not talk about research fund. You have some fund, some money to work on, and then you have to come up with some models, products, or whatever. But we have to find a partner. So finding the partner, although we have the capability of doing it, but for the sake of having a partner, we have to understand their concern, and then find the meeting points, and then we can synchronize later on. So this is, we start with empathy, defining the issues, and then we might create some ideas on how to work together, systems, publications, model, a concept, and then we work with prototype, and then we test it. So this is somehow the model we use with HKL. They start with very low level, and then we go with prototype and development and so on and so forth. So I think it can be applied to other project nature at the same time. Not only on research, we can do more with like real implementation. And and at the same time, I think most industries, some potential collaborators, they don't really care about publication. They want us to solve their problems. Maybe I reiterate this. They want us to solve their problems, and some of them can really come up with funds, and they are willing to pay, and they want to some problems to be solved as soon as possible. So we may have different kind of collaboration model, collaboration level, different kind of teams that work in different areas, so on and so forth. So I think that's it for knowledge sharing, whatever I have. Definitely working in local industries like Malaysia industries, and when I was in Saudi Arabia, the collaboration is totally different. They work. I had a grant, industrial grant with one of the bank, and they work kind of backward, I mean the nature is different, the way how we think is different, the way how the industry's think is also different. So we have to find quite it's quite challenging to find the meeting points, but end up we got the research the industrial grant. It was around 90,000 ringgit. Although the amount might be small for a certain project level, but I think that's fine to solve one or two problems. I think thank you very much. So if you have any question, feel free to give it to me, and maybe we can discuss together. Thank you. So this is my email. Feel free to connect together on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. All right. Is there any questions from the floor? Dr. Hadi, I think your presentation has been so clear. Nobody has any questions. It's like it. Good job. Okay, last call. Any questions from the floor? Okay. If not, can we take a group photo now? I would just like to call upon all participants to please turn on your camera, and we will take a group photo before we end. Dr. Munaisha or Dr. Husna, would one of you be taking the photo?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, everyone, don't be shy. Turn on all your cameras. Put on a nice big smile. Husna, we only see your silhouette.
I'm in the office. I change it.
Okay. How about the rest? Just turn on your cameras. Camera shy.
Anyone else?
Waiting for the rest.
The moon not here. Hello? Doktor, sekejap saya tengok gambar ni.
Okey, ada soalan dekat dalam ni tapi nanti saya address lepas ambil gambar Thank you Dr. Zuhanis.
Okay, just came in the question.
Sorry, Dr. Dalan was calling. I don't know. Okay. Everyone ready? Smile. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Hadi, Dr. Juliana.
That's one question. I also forgot to bring up one point, but that's fine. I'll come up with. I will answer the question first. Salam, Dr. Hadi. Thank you very much for the knowledge sharing. How do we deal with project output? Okay. Thank you. So, Dr. Zuhanis. That is one of the issue, reality with one of the project. I cannot mention which project. I'm sorry about that. What the issue is ownership. Not only PNC but ownership. The IP, the research result, testing result, because we were talking about system. Because there's no such discussion at the very beginning. Because we at the time we were targeting to solve the problems first. But after that, I managed to sit down with the members from that particular organization, saying that we want to pursue this, and we were allowed to publish certain results only, especially not related to confidential data. That's number one. So it must, some collaborations, they tend to discuss that first, what kind of things, the do's and the don'ts. And then after a certain time, we might go beyond that. Like, let's say the IP, we have not discussed in the research project, because we have intention to, IP can be a good outcome of this particular thing. So IP has an issue where who's the owner? So we were discussing that IP belongs to both organizations. There has been like multiple negotiation, so that is the final outcome. And then going to innovation competition. That's an event that brings industries, universities together. Who will be representing the project? Either the organization or either UniKL. So I leave it to the committee. I leave it to everyone to discuss. And because whenever we involve in this kind of competition, this kind of events, most of the things, not really most, but some of the things they might ask about fundamental knowledge about that solution, for example. So when we have the outline of the judging criteria, so I told them this will be the set of judging criteria that we have to achieve during the competition, the innovative competition, and that the competition was quite big. It was on an international level. So they told that some of them they cannot do, particularly talking about the literature review and stuff like that. So I told them if we encourage both organizations to go together within the for the event, and both organizations will explain to the judges, to the members of public, whoever wants to know more about the project. So they went there. Whenever the judges came in, this project represented by both organizations because we work together. PNC kind of things can be discussed whenever we start the project, but maybe very high level. As simple as one-liner statement saying that whenever there's a PNC, private and confidential data or results or company secrets or recipes, we have to discuss in a separate meeting and put them as a meeting notes. Yeah. So that is the kind of way out or workaround that we work with collaborators. Definitely they don't want to reveal their recipes, particularly whenever we talk about, like, for example, we work for manufacturing projects. When we want to tweak some variables like performance, cost, fuel, etc. So that's the kind of recipe that they want to hold, because they are the product manufacturer, kind of things. I want to also thank multiple organizations here. I can see JPK and SIAS members. So hopefully, if there's any potential collaborations, we are working on big data now. I'm working on establishing a data lake or data warehouse for our graduates, because we have lots of graduates or approaching 80,000 now, and we want to work. We are working on that line. Dr. Hadi, what is the best tip untuk lindungi idea kita while securing collaboration with industry? How to have clear boundary while ensuring the idea not to be copied by other? This is a hard question. Okay, I kena pecahkan dulu into several sections. Because we were at the disadvantage part when we submitted a tender and the tender was silang by other organizations. So I don't say the best practice, but this is purely my opinion. Whenever we want to secure collaboration, I think the first among the first thing that we can control is by having NDA and establish that at the very initial meeting. Even with HKL, we have the NDA. With SPAD, one of the project with SPAD, we have to sign NDA because it involves with lori perdagangan punya data, plate number, owner and whatnot. Even the license, they call apa, license officer, macam penguat kuasa. NDA is a good first level control where the NDA can outline the simple do and don'ts, and we have to sign it in between organization. It would be best to be the NDA to be signed off by the person who involved with the initial meeting, and then we control what kind of information that can be shared and cannot be shared. How boundary while ensuring the idea not to be copied. I mean, it's very hard to make sure that the idea won't be copied, but and I think NDA or if we have MOA at the later stage, that is something that must be addressed as soon as the initial meeting until the end. That would be the answer. I have no further experience on controlling that kind of issues other than NDA. Thank you very much if I have answered the questions correctly.
Dr. Hadi, I think there's one more question as well. Can you still take questions?
Sure, boleh.
So, how does someone actually take their first steps in, the direction of project collaborations? Are there any upcoming projects led by you or even Dr. Juliana that our academicians can take part in?
Miss Aruna, is it from academic perspective, from UniKL MIT perspective, or?
Yes, UniKL perspective.
Okay. I think Dr. Juliana also can contribute on this particular question, but we have to conduct like maybe bi-monthly workshop, or not really workshop, but seminar with members of the academic here, where we can share what's going on, what we are doing now, what kind of projects that we have, particularly from the perspective of business center. That's how we practice before this, and maybe it can be continued later on. And maybe it can, like simply as this is, I think, communication email on what everyone is doing. That would be one of the thing. Talking about my current projects now, I'm working on tuberculosis transmission, visualization, data analytics, as well as the big data for alumni management. Not really alumni management, but we talk about trend of employment, and the other one is something related to placement. It's very raw idea because I'm leveraging the architecture first. I'm doing the architecture now. Thank you. Maybe Dr. Juliana can also contribute on this question. Dr. Ju, thank you. Dr. Ju, mute.
You're muted.
Okay, sorry. All right, I think I guess what we other than other than sharing session, I think the section that have the door, okay, with the industry is the triple IP, okay, which is BC and park under the triple IP, as well as the Hori or Kori, which I think will have the better I would say bigger door, okay, for the opportunity to collaborate. Okay, so I think we need to get in touch with the Hori, get in touch with Kori. Get updated with the events or activities done by these two sections. Okay, and also another thing is for us as an academic to get involved into a cluster, research cluster. So I think that's one of the way for you to get into the networking. Not only networking with the other university or the universe or the industries, but first you need to get collaboration with inside the UniKL MIIT or the other campuses. That would be, I think, the first step that we need to start with, because if you cannot collaborate internally, you cannot get the information of the events, of the collaboration that we have currently have. Quite difficult. I can see that because if I were not into the BC, I might not get the opportunity. I might not get into that door or to work with the industry. But because I was in, I mean, I'm in the BC, so I'm the door is there. Okay. Even that's the one of my job description. Okay. So but I think for other academics who are in the academic section, that's the way. I think that's the first thing that we need to do. At least collaborate with different sections at least, or join with the cluster, project cluster. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for taking these questions, Dr. Hadi and Dr. Juliana. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of day 2 of UniKL MIT Research Week 2022. I think there's another question as well from the chat. Okay, from Ms. Hadi. Actually, or anybody can initiate the project. Okay, so it's a comment from her. So once again, thank you all to our presenters today, Mr. Ariff, Dr. Juliana, and Dr. Hadi. And thank you everyone for joining us this day. We hope these sessions have been informative and a huge encouragement to your own research efforts. Research Week continues tomorrow with day 3, and it's the final day. We will meet once again at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye.